Chapter 1 Operator Fundamentals. The single most important element of any mobile equipment operation is safety. This is especially true for the highly maneuverable and compact skid steer loader. To help prepare you for safe operation, in this chapter we will discuss the characteristics you will need to be a safe operator, the laws and regulations that apply to skid steer operators, and the importance of employer rules. Characteristics of safe operators. The number one cause of skid steer incidents is human error. When a skid steer loader tips over, it's typically because the operator was careless, was fatigued, overloaded the machine, was preoccupied, was unfamiliar with the machine or task, had no training or was poorly trained, or worked the machine past its capability. A safe operator is aware of these causes and will take measures to eliminate them whenever possible. Safe operators carry out their duties with maximum production while still maintaining safety on the job. They recognize that there is a safe way to perform any job, and that, even if that method requires more time, effort, or maybe even different equipment, shortcuts in an effort to maximize extra production at the expense of safe operation are not acceptable. This is because safe operators know that no job anywhere, anytime is important enough to compromise their well-being or the safety of coworkers. They recognize that once a safe atmosphere has been developed at the work site, production need not be sacrificed. A safe operator is also a qualified and authorized operator. In order to be considered qualified, you must have operational training, understand written instruction, know the rules of safe operation, and know the laws, regulations, and rules that pertain to your jurisdiction and position. Laws, regulations, and rules. Many provincial and federal organizations, such as WorkSafe BC, the Workers' Compensation Board, or WCB, and the Canadian Standards Association, or CSA, have developed laws and regulations that hold employers and operators accountable for their actions. While it is your responsibility to read and understand the laws and regulations pertaining to your job and tasks, we will introduce you to some of these laws and regulations now. Alcohol and drug laws. Alcohol and drug laws for operators exist because impaired driving can cause serious injury and death. Therefore, you must not operate a machine if you are under the influence of alcohol or drugs. If you are taking prescription or over-the-counter medicine that may impair your ability to operate safely, you will need to seek medical advice before operating any heavy machinery. Remember, anyone who operates machinery under the influence of alcohol or drugs is committing a crime. Skid steer regulations. Depending on your jurisdiction, there may be regulations specific to the operation of skid steer loaders. For more information on the regulations in your jurisdiction, please refer to your print materials. The Westray Act. Operators who do not follow the law and regulations can face serious consequences. When the Westray Act was introduced in 2004, it amended the Canadian Criminal Code to establish new legal duties for workplace health and safety and to impose serious penalties for violations that result in injuries or death. This means that organizations and employers can be held criminally liable. Breaking the regulations or failing to follow the order of an officer may result in prosecution. Conviction on a first offense can lead to a fine or a prison term of up to 6 months, or both. Conviction on a second offense can result in larger fines or a prison term of up to 12 months, or both. Employer rules. Laws and regulations aren't the only strict guidelines you will need to follow. Most employers also have site rules, as well as running rules for machinery, both of which you must be aware of before you start work. For example, your site rules may require you to wear the following personal protective equipment, or PPE, when operating your skid steer loader: a hard hat, a high visibility vest, steel-toed boots, gloves, eye protection, and any other site-specific work attire. If you don't know what your employer's rules for PPE or any other procedures are, ask a supervisor to provide them to you. Never perform any task until you know the rules. Remember, employer rules will be strictly enforced, and you will be held accountable for unsafe acts. Safety is everyone's job, but you can't rely solely on your foreman, best friend, or any other coworkers to ensure that operation is safe. You are responsible for your own actions, even if your actions endanger only your own safety.